Hola chicos, I'm Christian and I'm moving to Spain. This video will be about Madrid as a whole, like the city of Madrid, the region of Madrid, and just everything Madrid. But it will just be a brief overview, of course, because I cannot fit everything into this sort of a video. But like, I'm moving to Madrid and I've done a lot of research. I have not lived in Madrid. I've actually never stepped my foot inside the region of Madrid, and neither the city. So I've done some research about Madrid, a lot I think. So I will talk a little bit about what I actually know about Madrid. So Madrid is the capital city of Spain. I hope you know that already, or then you are coming to the right video at least. And that Madrid is located exactly in the center of Spain. So we have like kind of equal amounts to every direction of Spain to go to the coast, whatever. Guess you know what I mean. But Madrid city is actually located inside the Madrid region, which of course also in the center of Spain. So when you look at a Big Mac, when you look at that when you're looking at a big map of Spain, then you will see Madrid in the middle, but it will probably be the region of Madrid, and then the city are a little bit smaller in the middle of that, straight up in the middle of the region actually. So Madrid city is the capital, the city with the most people, highest population, biggest population, whatever you want to call it, in Spain, and therefore also kind of the most civilized city in Spain, and most like in front, highly technical, what you call it, like everything works and so on, so forth. But that's like the main city, like the city of Madrid. And when you go out further in the region and go to the smaller other cities that is in Madrid region, then you will be then you will discover that it's not that it's not nearly as civilized as the city of Madrid, and like public transport, for example, fastly becomes disappear, and public transport in Madrid are genius. Like, they have 13 meters, and they have the train that goes to every big city in Spain, and they have buses too, and bicycles and scooters you can rent, and so on and so forth. So lots of public transport there. But when you go out of Madrid city, the public transport basically just disappear immediately. So it's it's very different from the rest, and actually just a little bit north of Madrid. So actually in the Madrid region, but not the city, but north from the city, we have like the mountain range in Spain that stretches like 1,000 kilometers or something. Oh, no, I don't think it's 1,000. That will be the whole of Spain, like 600 kilometers or something in the width, and like 50 kilometers high or something. So that's of course not populated at all, basically. So that's also exists in Madrid region. A lot of things exist there. Everything from the civilized city to the mountain peaks. And the highest mountain in Spain, well, it's the only mountain range in Spain. Like, we have, of course, something with the border to France, but that's mostly in France. So it's basically the only mountain range in Spain. At least if you don't count the other one that's kind of in Spain and kind of just outside Spain. But the highest mountain in Spain are, no matter what, in these mountain ranges in the Madrid region. And I actually forgot the name of the mountain, so I can I actually also forgot the name of the mountain range. Every mountain range has a name though, and most mountains have two, or the biggest, most significant has at least. But that means there's pretty much always snow up there, and you can go on snowboarding, skiing vacation up there. So Madrid city can actually get snow sometimes, but it's like one day and it's melting the same day, and so on. But if they really want to go skiing or snowboarding, they can go to the mountains. So They even have the winter sports possibility there. So it's like we have the hot summer and we have the winter sports. So they have like everything. So whatever like you can get it in Madrid. Then I kind of forgot what else to talk about. We have like the culture of Madrid also very interesting, and of course the culture also differ from the Madrid city to the other regions in, or not regions, other cities in Madrid. The culture in Madrid city are of course very touristy, and if you can say the tourist has changed the culture, and everything is happening. All the streets are always busy in Madrid city, where in the rest of Madrid, the smaller cities, not nearly that much are happening. Like we're talking about the population are like thousands of times smaller, so it's not even close. It's not like nothing is happening. I'm not saying they are boring or anything. I'm just saying like it's a very big difference to the biggest city of Spain and the most populated city. Madrid is so busy and so dense packed with people and homes and all these big apartments, and there's always something going on in the city, and that's maybe a good thing for you. Maybe it's too much. Like the big city life can be too much for some people, and some people love it. Oh my god, what happens today? So it's yeah, it depends on a lot of things actually, because it also depends on how the city life is. Like Madrid are probably very different from Copenhagen and Denmark, even though they're both the capital of their country. But first thing, Madrid is bigger and they have 3 times the population. But also just because of the culture difference. I think the culture make a bigger difference. I think that Copenhagen and the city I live in, which are way smaller and a bit, a couple of kilometers away from Copenhagen, I think they are more alike than Madrid and Copenhagen is. So when I go to Copenhagen, I'm like, oh, I don't like the big city life. Then I'm actually more like, I don't like the big city life we have here in Copenhagen, we have here in Denmark. In Denmark, I rather want to be in a smaller city. But maybe it's something different in Spain because the city just works different. But you can also be against big city life in total. Like it can be you hate busy streets, period, and you just hate being too many people, and you better want a more chill life, not so much noise, maybe not so many other peoples, or maybe only people you know, or something like that. Like a smaller city up in the mountain. Either you can be a small city very dense packed, so you know each other, you see each other every day, or you can be a small city like spread out, just a few people long away from the neighbors and so on. Cities can be in many different ways, and it's different from people to people what they like, and why they don't like this, and why they like that, and so on, so forth. But Madrid region have like everything, because they have like the mountains, so they have the small mountain cities, but also have smaller cities that are not in the mountain, and they have Madrid, of course, the capital city. And Madrid is the only really big city in Madrid region. For example, there are no other really famous big cities in the Madrid region other than Madrid. Then you have to go to Catalonia and to get Barcelona or Valencia, and then we have all the cities in Costa del Sol, or Andalusia in general, and the Basque country and Galician cities. All these big cities are spread out, and many of them are by the sea. But Madrid city are like the only big city in the middle, like away from the sea. So Madrid region don't have that much else. If you are like love the big city life and you love going to other big cities, then Madrid region doesn't have that much. In that regard, it just has Madrid city, and then it has the other smaller cities. However, there's again the train system in Madrid are genius. You can take a train directly almost to Barcelona and to Valencia and to Malaga and Andalusia and to the Basque Country and so on. Like I think we take a train directly to every other region in Spain, and that means you are not so long away from the other big cities. You can easily get to other big cities just another way than you normally do. Where in Costa del Sol they are close together. They are at the beach also, so the one big city ends when the other big city starts. So there you just walk to other big cities. And you can walk along the beach as long as you want, and you will always be in a big city, and you can walk to multiple other cities. It's just a new city all the time, and the busyness doesn't stop there. So back to Madrid. The culture there are very interesting. There are the free tapa. I'm not sure about the other smaller cities, if they also have free tapa, or if that's only Madrid city that has that. I'm not sure if it's something to the Madrid region or it's just something to the Madrid city. But there is something to Spain, like old school Spain. It was very normal. Like tapa got invented to be free, you know. So it's just like Madrid city has kept the traditions. And I'm not sure if the other cities in Madrid region have done the same because of that, or if they also have switched to paid tapas. And then there are other stuff with the culture, like flamingo doesn't really exist in outside Andalusia, but it does because of tourists and stuff. So in Madrid city, you will be able to find some flamingo related stuff, but in the other parts of the Madrid region, the smaller cities, you will probably not find that. So in that way, the culture also differ from Madrid city to the rest of Madrid region, because Madrid city has like everything. It has everything from Spain collected one place. It has everything from the world of cultures actually collected one place. In smaller, bigger parts, you know. So because it's a capital and it's a tourist city. So that's just how it is. That happens. It always have everything because it has to have everything. But the other smaller cities are more like global cultures. Then you get the culture from the Madrid region, the old school culture, the traditions born in that region or that specific city even maybe. So it will be more cultural in another way. More specific and detailed culture you will get. You will get like the exact culture from the region. When in Madrid you get like the culture of Spain in general. You get something from every region. You can see how Spain works in general and how the different regions works. Like you can get some paella too, which is actually from Valencia, but it's pretty much spread all over Spain. But it's like you cannot always get a good paella in other places than Valencia. It's not the same as Valencia. In Valencia you can always get a good paella in every place. It's very popular there. So you can get these things. You can get some Basque food too, and stuff like that. And Barcelona specials also have, and of course I have a lot of stuff from Andalusia. So you can get like everything from Spain in Madrid, more or less, and good and bad. Of course, when they are tourists, they are bad shit because it's easy to sell bad shit to tourists. They are a vegan in a week anyway. So there are also things like that. Madrid are more complicated. There are more restaurants. I think there's no other city in the world with more restaurants than Madrid. And it's like, most of them are good, but there are like maybe 20% that are shit. And you just have to know it. You have to know if the restaurant is shit, and you have to know if it's good. So there's also this thing to remember in your head, like to know the things and to learn Madrid firsthand. But it's not that bad, and many people make it worse than it is. Many people talk about this so easy to get bad food in Madrid, but I'm like, no, it's probably good, all of it. Like, I'm used to bad food. It's probably not that bad. Here it's easy to get bad food, but I think in Madrid, I think it's always like kind of good. It's just not always amazing. I think it's not as bad. It's not like bad. It's just not that good. If you know what I mean. So I really don't know what else to talk about Madrid. I talk all over the place. I just don't know what's interesting. Also, I have not talked about the geography of Madrid, like the city, how it is. Like when you see it from Google Maps, the houses look, or buildings, should say, look identically. It just looks like copy paste on Google Maps, and you can keep zooming out, and Madrid just keep existing. It's so big, it's incredible. You should try it. It looks amazing. And at some point you will see that there are this highway going almost in a circle, like an ellipse shape, kind of around the center, and that's the M30. And inside M30 are also, in popular speak, called the center. But we have the straight up center, but then we have like the center of Madrid. So that's where everything is happening. It's just nice to live inside that M30. If no matter where you live inside the M30, it's busy. Everything is happening inside the M30. Then we have another ring called the M40, where there are mostly housings. It's mostly apartments there. And then we have another one, the M50, and there's like even less busy than the other ring. And then that's almost just houses, or very big apartments and stuff like that, and not so many. Of course they have stores. It's not like in USA where you have areas where there's just houses and you have to use a car to get to the store. It's like in Spain you always have a store in a walking distance, so it's not because you not having that. But we are talking about Madrid city, we're talking about the capital. You don't get that capital culture as you get inside the M30 if you go out between the M40 and 50. And then it's more like normal Spain, chill Spain, a little city in Spain, kind of more focus on the housings, and you just get what you need in a walking distance, so you don't have to use a car. But I think that will be the end of this overview over Madrid. It has been about a lot of different things, from geography to culture and everything in between. So it's just kind of the most interesting things about Madrid. First thing you should know, just pretty fast, and not so many details yet in this short of a video. I rather want to talk all around the place than I want to just talk about one thing. So I hope you like this, and if you did, then like it, and subscribe for more videos like this, and for more about my process of moving to Spain, and to see me actually arriving in Spain in 2 months time. So yeah, that will be very exciting. The videos will be way more exciting when I arrive, I can make you sure of that. So do subscribe and check back later. And if you want to know more about Madrid, ask in the comments, ask specific questions, or just ask if you want me to make Madrid version 2. And if you want me to do it about other things, and if you want me to go into more details about some things in Madrid, like make a specific video about one thing you want to know more about, maybe. So write a thing from this video you want to know more about, or maybe write a thing you figure out yourself you want to know more about, and want a video about, and want me to discuss in more details. And last thing, of course I'm gonna make a number 2 of this video at some point, because when I arrive in Madrid, I will of course make a part 2 of this video where I actually have seen Madrid firsthand, and then I will talk about how it differs from what I thought today when I made this video and thought about how is Madrid. And then I will also make a part 3 after I have lived in Madrid for, I don't know, a month, 3 months, a year maybe. Like at some point where I think I actually know Madrid very well. So when I have tried to live in Madrid for quite a long time, then I will make a third video. Or maybe it will be a fifth. I don't know how many I will make in between, but I will make at least a third one. 3 to 5 videos about Madrid when I get to know it more and more, and about more details. So we'll probably make some details video, but at least some overview videos about Madrid. There will come more of that when I actually have seen Madrid firsthand, of course. So subscribe for that and check back later, and I guess see you in the next one. Bye bye.